Hello people, welcome back to my YouTube channel Marriage MANENOZ. It's your girl Shelly Kiki. Thank you so much guys for joining me once again at kama it is on your screens. Asanteni sana. If you are new here, karibu sana. Kindly subscribe, like and share the video, and don't forget to leave your comment down below because next week I will be answering your questions. Na kama wewe ni mwenyeji, thank you so much for joining me. I have a cold, but I promised, so I must deliver. So please forgive me and kindly bear with my voice. So today is the last week of the month. Although this week has a few days of next month, but anyway, we are talking about finances today. Finances in a relationship or finances in a marriage. I will start by defining finances and laying a basic foundation of what finances are in a relationship. Therefore, guys, finances means the funding of a person or an institution. And in our case, it is the funding of the institution of marriage. When it comes to finances, there are things that you need to know in a relationship or in a marriage concerning finances. And one of them, guys, is that it's not one person's sole responsibility to provide for a relationship or a marriage. When you go back in the beginning, in the book of Genesis, in Genesis chapter 3 and verse 19, the Bible says that, I will paraphrase, God told the man that for your sake, I will curse the land, that you will toil and you will work hard to provide something for yourself. And when you go in the book of Proverbs chapter 30 and 31, it talks about this virtuous woman, depends on who taught you your English, who makes a home, who builds a home, who provides for a home. So clearly, guys, even in the word of God, you can see that it's not one person's sole responsibility to provide for the family or to finance a family. Another thing that you need to know, guys, is that you and your partner or you and your spouse are in the same team. That you are working towards the same direction or you are working towards a common goal. Guys, one of the major issues in many relationships is that people have individualized their finances, or they feel like this is my individual role or this is my certain role that I must be playing in this relationship. That brings me to my third point. There is no singular right way to distribute funds in a relationship. There has been a misconception, there has been tales, there has been cliches of how people should distribute their finances between the spouses. But I will tell you, there is no counselor, no financial advisor, no Google that will give you a particular recipe or a certain specific way of how you are going to distribute finances with your spouse or with your partner for your relationship to work. Why? Because this aspect is determined by so many factors. How a person has been brought up. The things that matter to one person might not be the things that matter to the other person. What someone considers important to them might not be what is important to the other person. Guys, the ambitions that one person has, the drive, the dream, all these things differ. That is where you find out that a certain way or a certain thing is working for this couple when it comes to money and finances, and it's not working for the other person. This is when you find out that this is going well. When this couple does this, it's going well with them. But when you try, it's not going well with you. Why? In over 7 billion people in the world, you are the only person who bears the fingerprint that is in your hand. That makes you solely special, solely different from any other person. That is why it is not good to compare your relationship or your partner or your children or any other person with the other person, because everyone is solely different, is solely unique. And that's what makes your relationship solely different from the other person's relationship or the other person's marriage. Therefore, guys, there is no singular right way. I can advise you, I can outline things that you can follow. If you go to Google it, you can outline things that you can follow. If you go to your pastor or if you go to your counselor and they listen to you, they can advise you on the things that you can do based on the people that you two are, based on a relationship that you two have built. So there is no right way, there is no wrong way. You cannot say my partner is not right. You cannot say what you are telling me is not right, or what I am saying is what is right, or what you're saying it is wrong. You both need to come to one unison solution, to one unison way of how you are going to walk about your finances in your relationship or in your marriage. The last thing, guys, that you need to understand is that it is very, very challenging to come into an agreement or to come to one conclusion about your finances in a relationship or in a marriage. Even couples that have been married for decades, even the happily living couples, even the social media couples who parade their working relationship and their working marriages on social media and all other platforms, even your pastors, it is very difficult. It is an everyday journey for you to come to an agreement with your finances, for you to find a way to navigate your finances. Finances and family are the two things that you love. Your patience, any virtue that you have learned in your life is challenged in a relationship or in a marriage. It is where everything about you as a person is tested, in finances and in family, when you are in a relationship or in a marriage. Therefore, guys, I will be telling you the things that you need to iron before you get into a relationship. And if you are in a relationship, the things that you need to work on to better your financial crisis or your financial problems in a relationship or in your marriage. 1, you need to solely disclose your financial status. I know many people think that by solely disclosing their financial status, it makes them vulnerable, it makes them like defenseless against their partner. But let me tell you, it is the greatest favor you can do to yourself. It is the greatest favor you can do to your spouse. It is the greatest favor you can do for that relationship. Yes, you will be vulnerable, but why would you want to stay with someone that you cannot be vulnerable to them and give the life of your children and your life and your family into the hands of this person if you cannot be solely honest with this person, if you cannot be solely transparent with this person? Why would you want to spend the rest of your life with that person? That is why it is important for people to date. That is why it is important for people to court, so that in the duration of courtship, you can know if you want to commit to this person. Therefore, you will be able to disclose your full financial status. May it be your debts, your investments, your loans, your responsibilities. You do not want your spouse to find out 3 months down in a relationship that you're paying school fees for your siblings, or that the house you are living in is on mortgage and you cannot appropriate for some amount of money because it was taken to pay a loan, a school loan or a business loan, or whatever it is that that money has been directed into. Remember, when you are meeting someone, when you are courting someone, you try to display the best of you. I have seen people forgo lunch, forgo meals, so that they are able to take the person that they want to date or the person that they want to fall in love with to exotic restaurants and to big dates. But remember, the moment you get into the relationship, it becomes real. It starts happening. Therefore, you do not want to get into a relationship with expectations. Remember that the first time you meet with this person, you have portrayed this perfect picture. I remember in our days, people would borrow shoes and clothes to wear to go for a date. So there is this impression that you have given your partner. There is this status that you have set for your partner. Therefore, you do not want this person to come into a relationship with expectations that you cannot meet. Disclosing your financial status ensures that the expectations that this person has are limited and are true. Therefore, guys, it is very important for you, for your spouse, and even for your family, your children, to disclose the truth about your financial status. Secondly, you need to lay down your ambitions and your desires. Guys, I have seen situations whereby one partner feels that this is important for them and the other partner feels that this is not as much as important. So, laying your ambitions and your desires and your plans beforehand ensures that this person knows the pros and cons before they get into the relationship. That is why one of the 5 important questions that you need to ask before you get into a relationship is, what is your long-term plan? When someone gives you their long-term plan, it enables you to have a glimpse at their future, a glimpse at what it is they plan to do in their future. For instance, maybe your spouse is planning to getting a piece of land in the suburbs, in the less hectic places in the country, and become a quiet farmer and live a quiet life. And you are thinking of establishing this huge business here in the city and thriving in the city. If you do not come to an amicable solution, you will have a pull and tear every time about your finances, because this person wants to drive their finances to this direction and this other person wants to drive their finances to this direction, and you will never agree. You will never come into the same page if you did not lay your ambitions on the table and discuss them and come to a common agreement. Therefore, guys, the other thing that you need to check out is your characters and traits or habits that misuse money. I have seen in several occasions where a spouse comes and gives the partner money, maybe to shop for the whole month, but this person, whenever they have small money in their pocket, everything in the mall calls them. Everything good in the mall calls them. I have heard of cases where someone was given even money to pay school fees or money to do something else for the family, and they go and gamble the money, or they go and drink the money, or they go and shop. Therefore, you need to be open and to disclose your traits or your characters that are money spending. Therefore, someone can know if they want to commit in this relationship with whatever it is on the table, or they want to back out. There is something that I keep on telling people, and I cannot say this enough, and I insist on it every single day. Do not get into a relationship with the expectation of changing someone. When someone has learned their fears and their vulnerabilities and their characters that you feel are a challenge, you need to know if they are ready and willing to work on them. And you need to ask yourself if you are ready and willing to walk the journey with them. Because it's not easy. It's not something that happens or changes overnight. It's something that you will need to work on every single day. Therefore, you need to lay down all these things. You need to lay down all your vulnerabilities. If you are in a relationship, it is high time you come out and you decide if you want to change. Remember, as I have said, nobody can change anyone. It is only God that has the power to change a human being. Therefore, unless this person is willing and ready to work on whatever it is that is a challenge, do not get into a relationship with the hope of changing this person, with the notion that when we get married, they are going to change, or when we have children, they are going to change. You cannot change anyone. You do not have the power to change anybody. It's only God that can change a person. Having laid a basis or a foundation on this topic, next time on finances, I will be discussing how to outline and plan for your finances. Do not be afraid to be vulnerable to your partner. Do not be afraid to disclose to your partner, because you two can outline and come up with a plan on how you are going to navigate or work around your finances. Therefore, guys, thank you so much for watching. Remember to subscribe, remember to like, remember to share this video. Don't forget to leave your questions, because I will be answering them on the first week of the month, which is next week. Therefore, guys, keep the comments coming. And until I see you next time, guys, ciao and God bless.